Now, those opposed to the creation of Oti Region have petitioned the Inspector General of Police, alleging intimidation and harassment of their members. Now, according to the One Voter group, at least 4 of their members have been arrested in the last week alone for encouraging others to vote no in next week's referendum. Now, one of them, an 80-year-old man who is against the proposal to create Oti Region, will be here with us. We'll hear from the leadership of the group who have just petitioned the IGP. We'll hear from them shortly. But first, my colleague Parker Wilson, who's been covering a news conference by the Electoral Commission headquarters, joins me in the studio. Parker, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Kojo.
Right. Now, of course, the EC has been saying a bit about next week's referendum. What are they telling us?
Right. So clearly, they have told us that indeed they are ready for next week's referendum. They talked about putting in place what they call tactile jackets for the visually impaired, so that, it can assist them during the process. And old women, pregnant women, or the elderly also have some preference when they get into the queue. And it's just the normal electoral processes that will start at 7 a.m. and also end at 5 p.m. According to the Electoral Commission, all the items or the logistics that they need for the processes have been dispatched to the affected area. So we can listen to Chair of the Commission when she was speaking to us.
Logistics for the referendum, including materials and items for all activities relating to the referendum, have been procured and dispatched to the affected regions. These include stationery and various election-related forms. Now to the register. Referendum has been printed and is currently being dispatched to the affected regions and districts. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the biometric verification devices, namely BVDs, to be used for the referendum have all been refurbished. Each polling station will have 2 BVDs. In addition, a provision has been made for backup BVDs at the regional and district offices of the Commission. All BVDs have been dispatched to the affected regions and districts. Application for vote transfer and proxy. The Electoral Commission provided an opportunity and gave interested and qualified voters who wished to transfer their votes to the referendum enclaves or to apply for proxy to do so. At the end of the exercise, 6,076 and 52 voters were successful in the application for the transfers and proxy voting respectively. It is my pleasure to inform you that on Monday, the 24th of December, 2018, the special voting would be held. Special voting is a special dispensation under the law that enables electoral officials, security agencies, and the media who, due to their duties on the day of the poll, will not be able and available at the polling stations to exercise their franchise ahead of the actual polling day. The special voting list for the various polling stations has been compiled, and we have 10,127 eligible voters who are expected to vote at the 47 special voting centers in the districts of the carved-out areas. The polling day on the 27th of December, 2018. Voting will start at 7 a.m. prompt and end at 5 p.m. at all 4,798 polling stations of the referendum enclaves. No voter will be allowed to join the queue after 5 p.m. However, all persons in the queue at 5 p.m. will be allowed to vote. A total of 2,260,724 voters are expected to vote at the 4,798 polling stations of the proposed areas. Finally, we'll now focus our attention on the end of polls and results declaration process. The counting of ballots will begin immediately after the close of polls at all the polling stations in the full glare of the public, and the results of the polls at the polling stations will be announced there and then. All certified polling station results will be submitted to the district collation centers. The district returning officers will collate at all the polling station results and submit the district results to the regional returning officer after same has been announced at the district collation center. The regional returning officer of the 6 proposed areas will tally all the results of the districts in a particular carved area and declare the results of the referendum at the regional referendum center. Note that the constitutional threshold requires that at least 50% of eligible voters must cast their vote at the referendum, and of the votes cast, 80% must be in favor of the proposed creation of the new regions.
Right. Well, that's what
Jermaine's chair of the Electoral Commission now. Because you know that even before they started the limited registration exercise, we had issues about some chiefs trying to resist the whole process. And if you go to the Oti Region, for example, within the Oti enclave, you will agree with me that there has been some tension going on where some individuals are campaigning for the creation of Oti Region, and others too are also, campaigning against for the creation of the Oti Region. Yeah. Now, the chair of the commission says that some of these areas have been identified as flash-prone areas, and that they are speaking to the Ghana Police Service. In fact, they've already submitted names to them so that they can put measures in place to ensure that on the day of the referendum, those areas do not pose a risk to the process or probably interrupt or disrupt the entire process. So we can listen to her.
To the issue of the flashpoints, and just name a few, because I think that it's not prudent, security prudent, to put out the names of all the flashpoints. But I think that we have, for instance, within the North Gonja districts of the proposed Savannah region, we have Mamprugu and Mankrala communities there. We have also Sankore and the Asuna, 4 districts of the proposed Ahafo region. And we also have the Dambai township in the proposed Oti region. But we do have a number of flashpoint areas that we've
so without mentioning the names.
Yes, because I think what happens is, even the initial letter that we wrote to the Ghana Police Service, specifically the Inspector General of Police, we mentioned a number of flashpoints. But as we noted, we have some coordinators, referendum coordinators in the field, who are updating us on a weekly basis. So currently we are writing to the IGP again with an additional list. So I believe that until we get there are new areas coming up, all the time. Quite recently we had the curfew in Bole. Initially it was not part of the list, So these are things that we are adding on, periodically. So we are not able to tell you immediately how many flashpoint areas we have.
Right, Jean Mensah there. Now, Parker, to sum up, on Monday there's going to be a special voting.
Yes, on Monday there's going to be a special voting for within the 47 affected districts, and the Ghana Police Service or the security agencies will have the opportunity to cast their ballot on that day, so that at least on Thursday they will be deployed to these areas to ensure a successful process as far as the referendum is concerned.
Right. Well, we look forward to that. I know you'll keep an eye on it and keep us updated. Thank you ever so much. Right, it's The Pulse, and there's so much more coming up right after this.